Ooh, I finally got off the clock and back to my hotel room. Another exhausting day of work I can mark off the calendar.
I know it's your first work trip, but you're not overworking yourself, are you, Gabe? Please make sure you're getting rest and eating, too.
I'm holding up. I think it's just that until now, I sort of thought going on a business trip would be like going on vacation. Coming home to a place without you or Jade, eating gas station food for my meals, that's no way to live. This trip is starting to feel more like torture than going on vacation. I want to go home already. I miss you, I miss Jade, and I miss having home-cooked meals and a softer bed to sleep in.
And it's too far for you to come home on the weekends. Jade's been pretty blue about you being gone too, Gabe, you know? All I hear her say is, "When's Dad coming home?" Day in and day out. I swear it's like she's forgotten how to say anything else.
That just means I'm her favorite, you know. Looks like being a dad instead of a mom has its perks after all, huh? Try not to get too jealous, Juniper. Damn, too bad you've got her all to yourself.
I sure do. Anyways, is everything going well? Are you feeling settled into the place you're staying at? Anything you need me to send to you? I could always put together a care package if you're running low on any essentials.
If I need this or that, I'm right by downtown, so I should be able to fend for myself all right here. Thanks, though. I'm actually lucky. Some of my coworkers got stuck in the middle of nowhere. It's just that even on my days off, I'm alone. It's just weird being in a different city without the people that make it fun to travel. There are sights to see and plenty of ways to kill time, but it's just not fun without you by my side, Juniper.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. You finally get to travel, and you're all alone for it. Well, how about this for a plan? The next time you get a day off from work, I'll take Jade and we can come to you and do some sightseeing together. All three of us. How's that?
Is that really alright with you? I'd hate for you to have to suddenly pack up and go. Besides, you said it yourself just a few minutes ago. It's not exactly close by, you know.
True, but we could come to you and scrap our other vacation plans, right? I'd be okay coming to see you this month and just spending the holidays at home. I'm sure it would still be a good time, even if it's a little unconventional. Honestly, I don't think Jade would mind, especially if it meant seeing you.
Yeah, I guess it would be pretty good for her. I can't argue with that logic too much. She'd probably just be happy to see me at all.
Still, they sent you pretty far away from Jade and I. There's no getting around that. It'll cost us a good bit to get over there, huh? Are you okay with us spending our vacation budget for this little impromptu trip? What do you think we should do? Should I go ahead and get tickets for the two of us?
Nah, on second thought, you'd better not come after all. I know Jade is looking forward to our holiday plans, and I don't want to take that from her. I think I'll just do a video call with her this weekend. Right now, it might feel to her like I'm a million light years away, but really, I'm only out here for another month, you know? I can totally power through one more month of this. No problem.
I agree. And I think that will be the best for all of us in the long run. Jade and I will power through the blues too. I promise. It'll take some patience from all three of us, but we can do this.
Roger that. I'll do my best to make you both proud and get back to you in one piece. Speaking of which, thinking about my last video call with her. Did something bad happen to Jade? She seemed a little less happy than usual the last time we spoke. You know what I mean?
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I thought she was the same as always, no? Was she acting differently than normal?
I guess she was mostly herself, the more I think about it. The thing is, usually whenever I call her, she's always smiling, you know? But last time we called, her smile seemed a little thin, like she was forcing it for me, and she kept glancing over to you the whole time she spoke. Did you get mad at her and scold her for doing something bad? Anything I should know about?
Oh, you know what? I just remembered what it was. That day, Jade had gotten into a fight with a friend at preschool. From what I heard, she must have taken a toy from the other girl or something like that. That's probably why she was on edge that day. I did give her a little stern talking to. Nothing serious, but I think she's worried I'm still mad at her.
So that's what it was. Was she able to patch things up with her friend? Kids can be cruel, but it sounds like it was just a misunderstanding to me. They're preschoolers, after all. It sounds like Jade was in the wrong, so it wouldn't hurt to say sorry, right?
She did her best to apologize, but the other girl seemed reluctant to accept. There's still some healing to do between them, and I suspect that's why she went off to bed so dejected today.
Makes sense to me. Well, I guess I can't expect her to be too happy about her situation even when we're calling each other, huh?
That's my take too, yeah. She'll bounce back. She just needs time and space, I think. Anyways, if she does anything unusual while you're video calling her, don't worry about it too much. You know Jade's not the kind of kid to get over these sorts of things quickly.
I think I'll get up early tomorrow so I can hear about the incident from her myself. Maybe I can give her some real fatherly advice about the situation. She's a good kid, after all, and I have my fair share of mishaps when I was her age.
Don't you think it'd be better to just stop talking about it altogether? I mean, it just seems like it's still a pretty touchy subject for her. Maybe we should leave it alone for now. She'll probably just get bummed out again during what's supposed to be fun time with Dad, I think. I've got my eye on this preschool business, so you two should just focus on having a good time with her, Gabriel.
I see. Well, alright then. If that's what you think is best, I'll follow your lead. In that case, I'll steer clear of that conversation entirely, and it'll be sunshine and rainbows for Jade and Dad. I've got no intentions of making Jade sad again, either. So, when she calls me, I'll do my best to help take her mind off things for a while.
Yeah, it's a sticky situation, but in the end, I think that'll be best for her. Sorry to cut this conversation short, but Jade just told me she wants to go to the bathroom, so I'd better go with her. Gabe, you're going back to work tomorrow, right? Take good care of yourself and do your best again tomorrow, okay?
Thank you. Well then, good night. I'll talk to you in the morning. I love you.
I finally got Jade to go to bed. She got all nervous and wound up after she video called you. You know, Gabe? It took me way longer than usual to get her to fall asleep.
Keep up the good work. I know she can be a handful even when both of us are there, so thanks for pulling my weight. And I'm sorry if I disrupted the schedule or anything. I didn't mean to keep her up past bedtime. I was just so glad to see her, I think I just lost track of time.
Nah, I had a great time too. No worries. She can break the rules a bit for you. You are her favorite after all. Seriously, I don't know when the last time I saw Jade in such high spirits was. I think we made the right call by not talking about the preschool thing, right?
By the looks of it, I'd say so, yeah. Well, if the little one's off to bed, it's probably okay if we talk on the phone, right? Why the insistence on texting?
If I leave her side, Jade's just gonna wake up again. And I can't really call you if I'm right next to her, right? You'll have to make do with just texting for now. Sorry about that.
Gotcha. I meant to ask her while we were calling, but why was Jade's leg all bandaged up? Did she get in an accident or something like that?
I think she tripped and fell at the preschool playground. She apparently got freaked out because she was bleeding a bit. More than she was used to. Her teacher told me about it. She seems okay though, so I wouldn't worry too much about it.
She must have been playing and not paying attention to her surroundings. Things happen, I guess. She needs to be more careful. We don't want her covered in scars before she even starts elementary school.
Her teacher usually looks after her and keeps her out of danger, so I think she'll be okay. Jade just happened to run off on her own this time, based on what they told me when I went to pick her up. I bet her teacher just couldn't keep up with her or something like that.
Right, the teacher couldn't keep up with the little kid. Well, did anything else happen, or has it been smooth sailing?
Aside from that, nothing really comes to mind. If I had to think of something, I'd say she still hasn't gotten on good terms again with her friend. But aside from that, it's been the same as it usually is around here.
I see. Well, it's good to hear things are somewhat normal and there's not too much trouble on your end. But I need you to be careful, alright? You know it'd be bad if you forgot to lock up at night or something, yeah?
That's kind of an out-of-the-blue topic of discussion, isn't it? Did something happen to you at work? Are you okay? Should I be worried?
Not really. It was just something I heard from a coworker about an encounter with odd people. When he came home from work, some guy he didn't know was sitting in his house.
Wow! Talk about scary. What a weird thing to happen to someone. I can't even begin to imagine that.
That coworker lived alone, so as soon as he realized something was wrong, he called the cops and they got the guy to leave, though. But you and Jade are both living under one roof, right? So it's better to be cautious for both of your sakes. There's a lot of oddballs out there in the world, so just be careful, okay, Juniper?
I think we're safe here, for the most part. It's a nice neighborhood, after all. But as long as you're away from home, I'll be more diligent about locking up at night. So don't worry, we'll be okay.
I should be able to relax more too, knowing you're okay. Right now, you're the only one who can protect Jade. I feel bad putting all that on your shoulders, but it's just because I care a lot, you know?
I know what you mean. And I won't let you down, I promise. Jade is everything to me, to us, and I'll protect her, no matter what. I'll do all the things a mother can for her.
I'm very glad to hear it. From what I saw, Jade was a happy little ball of energy today, so I'm sure she'll sleep well tonight.
Lately, anytime anything happens to her, she starts pestering me about calling Dad and telling him all about it. She has so much to tell you about all the time, so I think actually getting to tell you is cathartic for her.
Make sure to send me pictures of her cute sleeping face later. It'll be a while before the next day where I'll be able to give her a call. But I'm sure if I have pictures of her to look at and remind me what's important, I can survive the rest of this work trip.
Is it really gonna get that much harder, you think? They really ought to hire more people instead of putting so much pressure on you, Gabe.
Yeah, it looks like work's gonna ramp up in intensity soon. It'll be late by the time I get off, and I'll probably be too wiped out to call her. It probably wouldn't go well if I tried to do a video call with her in that state. Yeah?
I don't think she'd mind, but if it's late in the evening, she'll most likely be sleeping by then. If work is getting harder, always put that first, okay, Gabriel? Jade might get a little bummed out about it, but it is what it is, and there's nothing we can do.
Right. Either way, I'm sorry if she does get antsy about it. That's on me. I shouldn't have any trouble continuing to message you, though.
Good. I'll send you some pictures of me and Jade, okay?
Thanks. I'm looking forward to seeing you both. Well, I've got to be up and at 'em early tomorrow, so I better get some rest.
Yeah. Good night.
Wow, doing a video call after not being able to for so long feels so different. Seeing Jade's face, even through a computer screen, really made my day. I'm glad she didn't have any more accidents or injuries since last time, from what I could see.
Yeah, the preschool teachers have been keeping a close eye on her lately. Jade's a real tomboy, so she can be a bit of a handful sometimes.
I can only imagine having to be in their shoes.
By the way, are you back in your hotel room now? When you were calling Jade, you were still in the car, right?
Yeah. Something came up and I had to go out for a bit. I'm actually sitting in the parking lot now. I know better than to text and drive, don't worry.
As if you could be so tricky, Gabe. Even if you could, you still shouldn't do anything like that, okay? Jade and I would be heartbroken if we heard you got into a crash while on your phone.
And that's why I won't do anything of the sort. By the way, is it okay for you to be messaging me right now?
You mean because of Jade? She's still awake, but she's been pretty quiet. Usually she gets like that an hour or two before she falls asleep. So the coast should be clear.
No, not exactly. What I meant to say was... Are you having friends over or something? I just figured if you were with someone, they might get bored seeing you text me the whole time. Not very good etiquette, you know.
Having friends over? Why? You know it's just Jade and I here tonight, right?
Then why did I see the reflection of some guy's hand while I was on video call with Jade just now? Are you saying that wasn't one of your friends?
Say what? You're sure it wasn't my hand you saw just then? Jade was the one in front of the camera, so you probably couldn't tell, but I was right there next to her the whole time. I swear.
You were in the bathroom when it happened. How could it have been your hand I saw then?
Well, what was it then? Did you see a ghost or something? Knock it off, that's scary. You sure you're not just tired from work, Gabe? Your eyes were probably playing tricks on you.
Alright. Guess it was my mistake. Okay then, let's divorce. How's that sound?
What? Where'd that come from all of a sudden? How did us talking about this ghost hand become about divorce?
If it wasn't your hand, and it wasn't a friend's hand, it must have been a lover's hand, right? You got careless because I'm away from home, I bet.
Quit making jokes about me cheating! I don't know what got into you. It's seriously not funny. Plus, if what you're saying is true, that means I would have brought another man to the house while Jade was here. Have I got that right? Do you really think I'm capable of doing something like that, Gabe?
It's not about what I think. It's about what I know to be true. In fact, I know you'd always put Jade first, Juniper. That's why I can't even imagine you bringing some other guy home right in front of Jade.
Right? That's what I'm saying! So just do me a favor and listen to what I have to say. What you saw was your eyes playing tricks on you. You must be exhausted from working so much lately.
And yet, your explanation doesn't match my story at all. I just can't stomach what you're feeding me, Juniper.
Oh, come on! Why are you even saying this stuff in the first place? Don't you know I'm seriously not having an affair? Besides, even if you say you saw something like that on the phone with Jade, wouldn't you have said something about it? But you didn't bring it up, right?
You're right. I guess I didn't say anything when I first saw it. Sorry. I think you're probably right, and I'm just exhausted. You're my wife. Of course I should put my trust in you.
Exactly! For now, how about you get some rest tonight? You must be pretty spent.
Yeah, good idea. I think I'll do just that. It's been so long since I've been able to sleep in my own bed. I know I'm gonna get some rest tonight, though.
Wait a second. What do you mean, in your own bed?
I'm outside right now, on the front porch. With my parents. Oh, and I brought your parents, too.
What? You're kidding, right?
You're about to find out for yourself if I'm telling the truth. Of course, you'd know a thing or two about lying, wouldn't you, Juniper? Well, if I'm to believe you, you're not shacked up with another guy in the house right now, correct? In that case, you wouldn't mind if we came inside, would you? Juniper, have you given last night some thought? Well, I suppose it doesn't matter what you say at this point. There's nothing we can do now but split up.
Is there really nothing I can do to change your mind? Isn't there anything I can do to fix things now? There's got to be something I can do, right?
I told you, it's pointless. Stop trying to fix this already. You brought a guy you were cheating on me with to the house while I was away. From what Jade told me, and from what I saw for myself, he'd been at the house for the better part of a month, right? If you somehow got the magic words to fix this kind of mess, I'm all ears.
There's something off about all this. Gabriel, what happened to your business trip? Why in the world would you come home yesterday of all days? And bringing not just your parents, but mine into this as well? You planned all this out just to trick me, didn't you?
Yeah, you're right. I did pull a fast one on you. But then again, so what? I've got no reason to be forthright with a lady who thinks it's okay to bring a guy she's cheating on her husband with home when our daughter is there.
I knew it. You said you were off on a business trip, but you were having an affair too, weren't you? So you went after me to cover your tracks, huh? You're the lowest of the low, Gabriel.
All right, I definitely deceived you. There's no question about that in my mind. But the idea of me cheating on you is a total leap in logic. Where did you even get that from? For your information, unlike you, I have zero interest in betraying our family by having an affair.
Then explain yourself already. Enough of the cat and mouse games. If you're so high and mighty right now, why can't you just tell me everything you've been up to? Oh, I'm sorry. You can't come clean because you actually are having an affair. Is that it?
There's really not much to explain. I've just had my suspicions about you cheating for a long time now, that's all. So I figured I'd catch you in the act by staging my absence. I brought the family along so I could have witnesses to what was happening.
What do you mean you knew? How could you have known I was cheating on you if you were on a business trip?
Oh, that's a no-brainer, I assure you. Jade told me all about it over the phone. That's all it took, really. Once she told me, I got one of my co-workers to cover for me while I took the time to come home and expose you.
Don't feed me that garbage, you liar! I had my eye on that girl the whole time she was on video call with you. She never did anything odd in the slightest. There's no way she could have told you I was cheating.
I wonder if you even hear yourself when you say things like, having your eye on her. Anyways, Jade is at least 10 times more clever of a kid than you're giving her credit for. You pulled out all the stops to try and keep me from finding out about you two, right? And yet, a little lip reading with Jade was enough to have it all go up in smoke.
Lip reading? How would something like that expose me? She's just a little kid, Gabriel.
You said you were watching Jade, but when you left the room, the only one watching her was that guy, right? I guess he wasn't exactly the guard dog you thought he was. Whenever you went to the bathroom, he would look at his phone the whole time. So when he wasn't looking, she mouthed to me that a strange man was in our house. I didn't understand what she meant, but once she drew a picture of this mystery man for me, it all clicked.
Jade. You're telling me Jade was the one who told you about my affair?
I'd say she's a cut above the other preschoolers in my book. No matter how hard you got sucked into this affair of yours, you have to admit she's incredible, huh? Well, I guess that obsession is what made you think it was okay to do it in front of our daughter. In the end, your stupidity actually saved me a lot of trouble.
But I did everything I could to not let Jade out of my sight. How could she do this to me?
You're starting to embarrass yourself with all this talk about watching her. If you really cared about looking after Jade, you wouldn't have had an affair in the first place. Do you have any clue how badly you've hurt our daughter with this whole thing? Can you even imagine what it was like when her mother brought a stranger home and told her not to tell her father?
I just didn't want to go through a divorce with you, okay? And besides, he treated Jade kindly. I only ever did things for her sake.
He treated her kindly. Are you kidding me? Listen to the nonsense coming out of your mouth. Who do you think got our daughter's leg all bloody?
Her leg injury? What are you talking about? That happened at the preschool playground, though. Her teacher said so herself. She ran too fast and fell down.
And you didn't question that at all, Juniper. Wow. You really couldn't be worse at looking after your own daughter, could you? That scumbag kicked our daughter that morning as she was getting ready for school. She covered it up by falling on purpose at the playground that day. That's why she bled a ton from her leg after the fall.
If that's what really happened, why didn't she just tell me about it in the first place? If Jade had just told me the truth, I would have.
I'm sorry. Can you tell me what it is you would have done exactly? You would have kicked your boyfriend out of our house once and for all?
Of course I would! Isn't that obvious? I'm her mother after all, aren't I?
You mean you're the mother who neglected her daughter to sleep around with other guys? Is that the kind of person, the kind of mother, you think our daughter would be able to trust and confide in? She knew by then it would be useless to try to tell you the truth. Jade told me she thought if she told you what really happened, she would get in trouble with you again. That's why she decided she had to signal me for help without revealing anything to you.
I never knew about any of this. I swear I didn't. I really, truly thought he was a good guy until now. He was always so nice to me and Jade when he came over.
I'm sure he was just peachy around you, huh? A real winner, I bet. But when it comes to Jade, your supposed good guy might as well have been a monster.
In that case, that thing you said about your coworker's intruder when I told you about Jade's fall, was that?
Yeah, when you told me we should text instead of calling, I knew you were hiding from me. From what Jade told me, he kept his hands off her after that day. If that story was all it took to put some fear in you, though, you shouldn't have let him inside in the first place. But at the very least, I was able to keep her out of harm's way with that one.
I understand now. I've done something horrible. Something unforgivable. I'm so sorry. I really am. And thank you for protecting Jade. Honestly.
I did it all for Jade, not for you. Don't get it twisted. I don't want anything from you. No gratitude, no thank you. Nothing at all.
But, you know, we can still fix this, right? He might have made our daughter afraid, but Jade can learn to forgive me, can't she?
Did you seriously just say that? You realize that ship has definitely sailed, right?
What's stopping her from forgiving me? I didn't do anything wrong to Jade, did I? Sure, I know having an affair was wrong of me, but didn't I apologize for it enough yesterday? Haven't I done enough already?
Hate to break it to you, but that's really not the problem here. You'll get no sympathy from me, that's for sure. And need I remind you that your affair is the reason Jade was hurt in the first place?
Yeah, but what am I supposed to do if you divorced me, Gabriel? You're going to take Jade away from me, aren't you? I couldn't live with myself if that happened to me. To us.
Look, whatever happens to you from here on out, that's officially not my problem. Your family feels the same way as my parents, and it goes without saying that boyfriend of yours is already in police custody. From here on out, you can forget about asking me for help with anything.
Gabriel, please. Please, don't leave me, Gabriel. I need you. I love you so much. We haven't gone on the family vacation we promised Jade yet. We're a family. We have to stick together.
Don't worry. Jade and I will have a wonderful holiday. Just the two of us. Besides, Why would we go on family vacation with someone who isn't part of our family? When you turned your back on me and Jade, you turned your back on us not just as people, but as a family. I stepped up to protect Jade because you couldn't be bothered to, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. She's in good hands now, so why don't you get lost? After that, me, my parents, and even her parents, having exposed Juniper's infidelity, left her with no choice but to agree to divorce me without argument. Once she knew the extent of Jade's suffering through all of this, a dejected Juniper had no qualms paying for the divorce settlement and child support. And just like I told Juniper, it sounds like her boyfriend was put away behind bars for a long, long time. It's all thanks to Jade's craftiness that I was able to learn the truth and get through things as smoothly as I did. Because of that, Jade didn't get hurt nearly as bad as she could have, and I was able to protect her properly. She's a brave kid for taking action in such a dire situation, and for that, I'll always be proud of her. I only wish I could have picked up on things sooner, so I could have prevented some of the horrible things that happened to my daughter. Even to this day, the idea of me not picking up on the signals Jade sent me about Juniper's affair sends chills down my spine. So, even if I've got some guilt and regret about the situation, I have to be thankful it wasn't any worse, right? These days, Jade and I have been living a much more normal life at my parents' house. I know that whenever I have to go away for work, it probably reminds Jade of those awful memories she carries,